Hello, hello, and welcome back to Death Stranding. When we left off, we were resting here at at the distribution center south of Lake Knot City. And now, we're gonna go read some emails and messages and stuff we've got. Alright. Thomas Sutherland, distribution center south of Lake Knot City. Order, delivery for a pepper. Sam, I have a delivery request for you. There's a prepper out there. Oh, prepper, not pepper. There's a prepper out there who's got a special talent. Calls herself a cosplayer. And she can apparently dress herself up to look like damn near anyone or anything. There's no one better when it comes to designing or making clothes or accessories. But she needs a new sewing kit to finish her current project. Would you find one to deliver to her? I'm pretty sure she'd have something interesting for you waiting in return. I like making the sound effects for the emojis. The chiral artist. We got married. How are you doing, Sam? You must have walked more than 1,000 miles by now. Try not to let it get to you. I'm sure it must be lonely work. Well, anyway, I wanted to get in touch and tell you that we got married. Mwah. I know. Who gets married in this day and age, right? But through the chiral network, we got in touch with a priest and we said our vows, and that was it. Mwah. Silly maybe, but it seems to have brought a smile to a few faces, so thank you for making it possible. We owe you more than we can say. Carol, the artist's mother. Please look out for them. Dear Sam, wonderful news. My daughter's getting married. Oh, though, you've probably been wondering, we're not related at all. I've never even been married, let alone had any kids. I took her in 5 years or so back. After her parents died, she could barely speak a word of English. Her parents had been Japanese. But we managed in our own way. It's funny. Until the moment we met, I thought I was destined to live out my life all alone. But as soon as I laid eyes on her, that changed. I knew in my heart of hearts to protect her. I had to protect her. Make sure no one ever hurt her again. Or hurt her, though. Look, make sure no one ever hurt her. Though I ended up doing that myself by being too overprotective in the end. I've tried to make it up for her. My daughter's leaving the nest at last. I couldn't be happier for her. All I can do now is pray and hope for the best. And, I'd be awfully grateful if you could look in on her and her husband from time to time. Just make sure they're okay. Thomas Sutherland, distribution center south of Lake Knot City. Come roll around the racetrack of your dreams. Hey Sam, how are your deliveries going? Listen, I've got something important to tell you, and you'll want to hear it, I promise. Ever since you came to the distro center, I've been hearing rumors about a dream racetrack. Sounds like there are plans to build one near the Time Farmer's place. Back in the day, you know, plans to build one near the Time Farmer's place back in the day. Sorry, the comma and the spacing threw me off. You know where that is, right? Anyway, it seems it was the founder of Fragile Express who had the idea in the first place. Yep. Turns out Fragile's old man is crazy for motor racing. Who knew? Anyway, the idea was that the racetrack would attract crowds from Lake Knot and South Knot all over. Some of the local preppers would have come along too, no doubt. Would have been quite the sight. Man, just thinking about it gives me goosebumps, know what I mean? Seems like they made good progress at first too. Everybody worked together and they managed to get a racetrack terminal set up in double quick time. Of course, then the goddamn terrorists had to get involved and ruin everything. The racetrack of everyone's dreams nearly never became... Or everybody's dreams never became a reality. But maybe that's... God, I can't read. But maybe that's about to change, because we managed to get our hands on the original design data. And what's more, it seems like it's still good to go. That's right. Just donate the necessary materials like you would to any other structure, and the racetrack your dreams will come true. Man, I wish I could go, I wish I could be the first to burn that baby up. But they need, alright, they need me here, so that's that. Oh. Still, there's one guy I'd be happy to see on that track in my place. It's you. The great deliverer himself. Oh, and you wouldn't have to trundle around the racetrack in one of your trucks either. Nope. Sounds like a sleek little number known as a roadster will become available for fabrication if your results are good enough. But I'm getting ahead of myself. First thing you need to do is find a racetrack terminal near the Time Farmer's place and donate the necessary materials. Good luck, Sam. I'm looking forward to seeing you race into the sunset and into a bright new future. Your partner, Jay. Unknown location. Recovery request V. Retrieve my chip from the mules. Right. So I think this is supposed to be Johnny Silver, and it's a reference to Cyberpunk, which would be funny. Hey there, Sam the man. It's Jay. It's Jay Clear. Recall? Memory bit recognized? I gotta say, these delivery systems of yours, they're pretty advanced. It only took me a minute or two to find or a minute or two after hijacking them to locate my second chip. The chip you'll know it when you see it. You'll see a V, a big ol' V like last time, like home. Problem is those mules got to it first. Stuck it in a post box for safekeeping. But I know you, Sam. I know you, Sam. Sam the man. I bet a guy like you loves a challenge, am I right? Right? Take the order, run with it. I'll update your map with the latest info. The rest is up to you, though. Finding the chip is one thing. It takes a living, breathing person to go and get them. I do not qualify at the moment. When you're up for it, you'll find the gig order waiting for you at the Lake Knot City. Cool. Alright, we got some interviews. Prepper interview, the junk dealer. 6 months ago, personal shelter. Incredible, isn't it? This hourglass. See how the sand flows upward? Got chiral particles in it. That's why it moves like that. And look at the shape of the glass. So elegant. So delicate. Just like the girl who made it. Hard to believe it's even of this world. But it was made by human hands. Alright. Crazy, isn't it? No wonder everyone in South City knows her work. Can you imagine how I felt when she gave it to me? I guess you could say it was thanks to you, a thank you present. She'd asked me to fix something for her. God, sorry. I'm like, my asthma's kind of acting up a little bit in the background. Mix that with, my mouth. I brushed my teeth during and in between of the episodes because I wanted to make sure I brushed my teeth before I forgot to tonight, and now my mouth's salivating like crazy from the mint. So those two things combined are inhibiting my ability to read clearly. Sorry. I've done jobs of all kinds all over the years, but none of my other customers ever did anything like this for me. Most will just toss you a couple of likes, and that's the end of it. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with a like or two. It's just, this was different. The moment she gave me the hourglass, I knew I wanted to be with her. Never happened, though. Ain't cut out for love and relationships. Don't have what it takes. Other people kind of scare me, to be honest. Still, even if I can't be together, at least I'll have this hourglass. Alright, let's reread what we already got and catch up on the Unknown Man's journal. Today I made a delivery to a shelter near Middle Knot City. It was my longest trip to date. A new personal best. Back when I was starting out, people tried to warn me off the life. saying it was too dangerous for prepper youngins to make runs, and that no one would ever trust me. But what was I supposed to do? Kids without parents need to eat too. And if it's not like and it's not like I had any skills. 2 arms, 2 legs, whole lot of grip. That's all I had to offer. Worked out okay so far. I bring people what they need, and in return, they do right by me. The more deliveries I make, the more orders I get. Never a porter around when you need one. So, as long as you don't fuck up too badly, someone ought to throw you a bone. Helps that I got a 6th sense for BTs too. Pretty rare, that. It's probably one of the reasons why I get so much work. Sometimes people praise me, tell me I'm doing society a service by helping out my fellow man. Can't say that factors into it. I'd sooner keep to myself if I could, but I've got to survive somehow, and I sure as hell ain't gonna manage by myself. Another prepper's kicked the bucket. I went to deliver his medicine, as usual this morning, but I guess I was pretty damn late. Poor guy wasn't just dead, but on the verge of going necro. Wasn't no time to take him to an incinerator, so I had to dump him in nearby BT territory, rather than leaving him to pop. Especially since my own shelter is close by. Gotta look out for number 1. When I dumped him, though, just before he popped, it was like I could feel the BTs reacting to the corpse. Saw the beach too. Strangest thing. But I'd felt it before, when I first disposed of someone. The sensation was stronger this time, though. No doubt about it. Don't know if this means that I've got dooms, but I'm starting to think there's something special about me. A delivery outfit out west heard tell of my BT sensing abilities, and has expressed an interest in bringing me on board. Seems they operate outside Bridge's sphere of influence, and they want to leverage my experience and know-how to expand their operations. Could be interesting. It's funny. I started out making runs out of necessity, to stay alive. That's all changed. I'm an altruist now. I live to help people. Preppers around these parts rely on me. Hell, they wouldn't have lasted 5 minutes without me. What would my daddy say if he could see me now, He taught me man's his own keeper. But here I am, part of a community, working with other people, bringing the world together. Daddy always told me that the wide world was dangerous. That we had to stay in our shelters, spend our whole life there, die there. Well, fuck that. Community's what it's all about. Buddy of mine died today. He was out in the mountains on delivery, and it was so goddamn foggy. Guess he lost sight of the trail. He called me asking for help, but then the line went dead. I saw the void out from here. Nearly blinded me. Guess he wandered into BT territory. There's not many of us porters left these days. Not many you could trust to get the job done anyway. Folks quitting or dying or going mule. Attrition's a bitch. If you're to keep on, we're going to need better equipment and someone else who can track BTs. I can still manage sometimes, but my power's getting weaker. I can feel it. I just wish I knew what to do. To this rate, I'm fucked. We're all fucked. And now we get to the new stuff. Ha and Ka, body and soul. The two become separate. You die in this world, at least. That death isn't the end, though. So long as your soul's got a body to come back to, you can be reborn. Resurrected, anyway. That's why people built coffins and sarcophagi. To preserve the body so the soul had a home it could return to. I learned all this and more from a book I found, The Wisdom of the Egyptians. Chock full of interesting tidbits about death and how to overcome it, like the golden death masks of the pharaohs, the ones decorated using magical adornment as an indication of the wearer's prestige and power. I tell you what, If we've learned anything from the beach, it's that the Egyptians had it all figured out. That's why I've decided to give myself a mask. Not a death mask, though, but one for the living. For ruling. Today's the last day anyone sees my face. I don't need it anymore. A Bridges Way station out west just got taken out by terrorists. Used a void out to do it. They dumped a corpse nearby and let it go necro, dropping BTs right in people's laps. Word is Demons heard that Bridges was sending an expeditionary force out west to facilitate the reconstruction of America, or some such. Guess they didn't take kindly to that. Terrorists, separatists, isolationists. All these folks claim America is coming for their freedom. And the old guard wants to put them in chains, make the individual subservient to the collective. They ask what's in it for. They ask what's in it for. They ask what. Excuse me. They ask what. They ask what it's. What's. Sorry, my stutter. They ask what's it's all for in a post-Stranding world, when today's triumph is tomorrow's crater. Daddy used to spout the same tired lines. Said America never did nothing for nobody. That's why we took to living in a shelter. Better down in a hole that's out there under their thumb. Yeah, he was a real saint, my daddy. Tried to run a few times, but he just dragged me back inside, kicking and screaming. Where he'd put those heavy of hands of his to work and remind me what had happened if I disrespected his authority. But that's love, isn't it? His way of looking after an orphan child he raised on his own. He was only trying to protect me from the evils of the outside world. I owe my life, and my powers too. First time I ever sensed BT was when I held him, moments before he went necro. Just like when I dumped that prepper's body, my daddy showed me that corpses and precious, powerful things. Showed me that corpses and precious, powerful things. There's so much more than bombs. Terrorists ought to treat them with proper respect. I've had us team up with a bunch of porters who service the central the central part of the country. Had to be done. The writing was on the walls for my crew otherwise. And guess what? Their leaders got dooms. I've got a feeling we're gonna be good friends. Demon, the terrorist, demons, and the terrorists have been getting more aggressive ever since the Bridges expedition team set out. If the BTs and mules weren't enough, now we've got to keep our eyes peeled for those assholes when we're making runs. All the more reason we've got to come together. Get organized. Me and my new partner, we've been talking about consolidating our operations so we can cover the whole continent. If we do, I suppose that make us like the UCA in some respect. Different structures and methods, but similar ideology. A deep and abiding belief in the importance of community. But the devil's in the details, isn't it? Rules, structure, can't just let people make decisions for themselves, and therein lies the risk. Can't have us repeating the sins of the past with another USA. The Demons, well, they ain't about to think for themselves. And at the end of the day, community needs a strong leader, and the God's honest truth is that I'm the only one who's cut out for it. Who is this I'm hearing from? The rumors I had heard about my new partner's powers don't do her justice. I knew she had dooms, but she's on a whole other level, I tell you. I've never seen anything like it. Not only can she perceive BTs, she can actually use the beach. Compared to hers, my powers are nothing. parlor tricks courtesy of a few corpses. But it doesn't matter. Not so long as I've got her. Before we met, I was bound by the limitations of my abilities. I was a blind man groping for shadows of a secret realm. But now, because of her, I can actually go to the beach. The beach! With her by my side, I can reshape this world. Not into what it was with the old USA. Not like what Bridges wants. Something new. Something everlasting. Right here and now. A world where we are free to do whatever we goddamn please. I don't like the sound of this. My partner's powers are extraordinary, sure, but deep down, I know the two of us alone don't have what it takes to bring true, lasting freedom to the people. Everything we've done, that we continue to do, no matter how much of it seems to bring people together, it's still a far cry from the way it should be. Timefall, BTs, chiral clouds, all this and more serve to cut us from the rest of creation. And I have to say, I don't think that's ever going to change. Even people like me and my partner, we have our limits. But now, I've met someone who has none. Someone who could save the world from this madness. Make it whole again. Put our shattered pieces back together. I don't know if I should like this person or fear them. An asexual world, from the counselor 3 years ago, Bridges HQ. Records suggest that the widespread aversion towards physical contact and intimacy was a phenomenon that had been observed even before the Death Stranding. One contemporary report, for example, detailed increasing popularity of the sexless lifestyle among young people. A growing percentage of young cohorts were self-identifying as asexual, claiming to be incapable of feeling desire or attraction. Accordingly, such individuals are less likely to have children or engage in sexual activity. It should be noted, however, that many other unique sexual identities were being recognized during this period, such as demisexuals, who are incapable of sexual attraction without emotional connection, or panromantics, who profess an attraction unrestricted by sex or gender, albeit one not necessarily sexual in nature. One theory posits that the Stranding accelerated the proliferation of these sexualities in a terrifying new world in which BTs roam and annihilation is an everyday occurrence. People have grown reticent to form emotional connections with others. Although there has been no measurable decrease in human fertility, the birth rate has nevertheless dropped dramatically. Incidences of sexual harassment and assault have also seen a sharp decrease, which seems to suggest that sex could not be further from our minds, for better or worse. I must preempt myself by admitting that I do not have any empirical data with which to support the following claim. That said, it is my contention that based on the aforementioned observations and others, the vast majority of the population could be categorized as asexual. Flag for archival review. Article advances and controversial thesis widely regarded as unsubstantiated or discriminatory. Prevailing theory is that increased self-identification of aforementioned sexualities is due to an increased social awareness and acceptance. Historical records indicate individuals asserting identities falling outside cisgender heteronormativity face significant discrimination and persecution, leading to the suppression and concealment of survival strategies. It is generally accepted that a variety of factors contribute to the reduced sexual activity and birth rates pre- and post-stranding. Studies are ongoing. Neat. What do we got from our memory chips? Oh, I haven't processed that chip? Okay, we'll have to do that later. I got a new song. And new manual tips. Terrain specular icons. Okay, yep. Enemy strategies, mules, stun bombs. It's possible to knock out an enemy in a single blow with this technique. Makeshift weapon while doing so. Okay. Oh no. This is what I was supposed to be reading. Okay, it's just explaining how stun bombs work. Alright. Oh wait, I missed a tip. Structures. Spiral bridges. Okay, now we're good. Cleared all that up. Alright, looks like this whole episode was spent reading. So, next time on Death Stranding, we will be setting off back into the world. Hope you've all been enjoying this episode, and cars will be appearing in just a moment. Love all you very, very, very much, and ta-ta for now.